on the second hour, man, we got Joe and our Powell in the building. No stranger to the music industry. Disc jockey, entrepreneur. He's also an author. He's there. Hey, man, does a lot.
I know. That's what I was gonna say. I was like, man, like, what title does he not have? So,
I'm about to sit here and just soak up game.
Yeah.
I'm just sit here and just take notes.
Man, he bringing Jamaican Canada to ATL.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna take just a really quick, short break, and then we'll have him in here live.
That's right.
If people want to call, give him the number.
404-603-8770. That's 404-603-8770. If you want to call in, talk with Joel N.R. Powell.
Or if you want to talk to me, Lando, you can hit us up to
Nobody wants to talk.
888-926-7562 if you're not in state. All right?
Everybody need to chill out, man. That's why can't we talk to our next guest, man? He's from two countries that have very awesome laws on certain things I love, a certain plant I love, and I think more people should like partake in that plant so we all can chill, mellow, love each other, man. That's all I think.
Like when I met him in the hallway, I automatically felt calm. Like all my stress just went away. I was just like, I was happy.
Happy, Like, but you know what, man? For real though, like, it's crazy. Like everybody's so tightly wound up. Like everybody's like a wind up toy that you just wound up past the point that you proposed to. Mm-hmm. Now everybody just basically acting up, got the crazy and stuff like that. Man, it's crazy, man. I don't know what's going on.
Wow. All right. Well, we're definitely going to talk to him in just a few moments. We'll have him live. But first, let's take a really quick break. Nostalgic Vibes Radio.
Survival of the fittest when you down and out. To get your spirits up, you gotta know what it's all about. Psalm 28, hear the voice, my supplications. And when you cry to God for help, it's zero complications. You must turn it over to Him without a doubt. And wait for the Most High's blessings before you scream and shout. Your prayers will be answered when your time is due. It's a promise to His word, Psalm 112. Stay true to your heart and do what's right. He will guide you coming in and going at night. Worship the Lord with His beautiful ways as you praise His holy name for these beautiful days. He came into my life and He guided me, and He kept me away from harm. He came into my life and He guided me, and He kept me away from harm. He came into my life and He guided me, and He kept me away from harm. He came into my life and He guided me, and He kept me away from harm. A lot of us wanna give up on our hopes and dreams when things ain't working as it should, not what it seems. Philippians 4 verse 13, I can do all things cause He strengthens me. You see, God's in charge of your destiny, and He loves you so much unconditionally. It's the feeling that you get, blood runs through your veins. It's God working hard so you can sustain. He maintains, provides, and keeps up a roof. Keeps you away from the lies so you can hear truth. Worship the Lord with His beautiful ways as you praise His holy name for these beautiful days. He came into my life and He guided me, and He kept me away from harm. He came into my life and He guided me, and He kept me away from harm. He came into my life and He guided me, and He kept me away from harm. He came into my life and He guided me, and He kept me away from harm. Divine justice is the way your life is operating. Stay on guard, don't matter what you're facing. Individual struggle.
Nostalgic
You gotta
Vibes
learn to hustle
Radio. This is your
and
girl
muscle
Mickey
up
S, and I'm with them
the
damn
courage
twins,
to
Rogue
never
Alien,
expand.
and Lando. We're bringing you good vibes from the old all the way to the new. So we had a great first hour. Now we're here, like we said. We've got our next live guest, which is Joel and R. Powell in the house.
What's up? What's up? What's up? Glad to be here. Joel and R. Powell representing on Nostalgic Radio. You know, feeling the vibe, loving the vibe already.
right. We appreciate you being here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and I did want to mention that song that was playing right before we came back was called Away From Harm. Like, I love that. I love that. I'm digging it.
So what gave you inspiration to write that song?
Actually, that whole entire, I gave the gentleman the CD over there. It's the EP soundtrack to my book.
Okay.
So it's actually based on chapter 3 in my book. My book's called Black Empowerment and Minority Issues. So it's based on a chapter called Overcoming Emotional Instability by Enhancing Your Faith. So it's basically a song basically about empowering yourself and being faithful and believing in yourself and staying true to the Creator.
That's man, I love that.
It's deep.
Yeah.
It's real
Love it,
deep.
love it.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, so as we introed you before you got in here, Rich was talking about, like, basically how you've done everything. You have every title, author, and, you know, you've got your mixtapes out and keynote speaker, everything. But I want to go back to the beginning. I think you started out with Ninja Rider sound, is that correct?
Yes. Okay, now I'm going to get into the Jamaica side now.
Okay.
Oh, he switched up accents.
Yeah. Okay, Ninja Rider's sound is like what American people call DJ. Jamaicans call it sound system. So it's like you're a sound system selector. So I started off my career as a sound system selector. That's where the roots of my career started as. So I can talk like this, and I can say, yo, wagwan, everything, you know, chip up the voice once in a while, and, you know, ting, you know, ting like that. So I'm born in Canada, but I'm more Jamaican and Trinidadian. That's my background. Because I grew up in a full Caribbean household. Oh. And that's how I know more Jamaica, Trinidad, before I even know Canada. You know, even though that's where I was born. Mm-hmm.
That's what's up.
How did? Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
How did your family get? So you were born in Canada, right? So how did they transition to Canada?
Because basically in the 1970s there was a big, huge flood of immigration. Actually, where immigrants from the Caribbean were coming to Canada. So that's how they came, you know, because actually they came looking for work. Because things in the Caribbean was really hard at that time, man. Especially in Jamaica, during that time was election season. And it got very violent. So my father actually migrated first into Canada because he was trying to basically not get killed. Because in that time in Jamaica, Kingston especially was violent. So he told me he left Jamaica at that time basically because he had to save his life. And my mom literally came like a month later from Trinidad. Yeah. 'Cause my dad came June 76. My mom came July 76 to Canada. Yeah.
That means you were born in 70.
Nah, they weren't that fast, son.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
So, like, you know what it's really like to actually, you know, understand how powerful, like, being part of the political system is.
Yeah.
It's like, that's crazy. Yeah, crazy. So, like, you know, tell me how you feel about knowing that, what you went through. How do you feel about the climate going on right now?
Well, in which way? In politics wise?
I mean, you don't gotta get so into like the politics side of it, but like the climate of like based on what's going on, is the climate of like you can kind of feel like people are almost like from a burst, like a boiling point in a way, you know?
Yeah. Well, right now the thing is that you see, with the condition of the economy today, especially where things are so financially strapped for everybody, you know, you're gonna feel a lot of tension, a lot of stress because people are trying to feed their families. And the thing about it is inflation is getting higher, but the wage is getting lower. You know, because the wages ain't changing, but people are charging more rent, more mortgage, bills are getting higher, but people ain't really having the means for them. So one of the things I even talked about in my book was people pursuing entrepreneurship. You know, taking their God-given talents and flipping them into ways of how to make a living. Because that's what I had to do, literally, to be where I am today. Because where at my address when I was growing up, you couldn't put that on no resume and get a job. Even in Canada, you couldn't. They weren't hiring you by putting them address on your resume. They'd be like, you from that area?
I mean, what's the reason for that?
That's crazy.
Because it was I lived in low-income housing.
Okay.
So it was like, I couldn't even get a bank account.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah, for years. Like my mom had to basically verify who I was and go through all kinds of paperwork that if I didn't pay this and that and the other, they'd basically seize my account or whatever because they didn't trust my age bracket from that neighborhood.
So question,
Stereotype.
Question. I'm looking at you right now, so I'm getting kind of idea like age range where your parents would have been around that time.
Yeah.
In that time frame, I'm thinking right now that shouldn't have been going on right there. How did they get away with that? You know?
Right.
No, for real, it was something that I was stunned when they told me when I went to the bank applying for my first bank account at the age of 18, and the lady's like, that's your address? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, oh. When we sit down there, she went in the room talking to the manager. They're talking. I'm looking at the window. They're talking. She comes back. Do you have your mom here or a parent here to sign this with you? And I'm like, no, I'm 18. I can do this on my own. She's like,
right.
She's like, it'd be better if you got your mom to do this for you. I'm like
I'm legally a grown man.
I'm
Like I'm legally a grown man. Like what's going on?
So it turned into an argument between me and her, and I left, and then I went home and I told my mom what happened, and then. Basically, I basically reported the bank and I wrote some letters to them, and they basically straightened it out eventually. But in the beginning, she had to open it up for me. Because at the end of the day, the manager of the bank was told by someone in a higher office that they could actually do that. Because the area where I was living was a high-risk neighborhood for fraud. So they basically said, yeah, we can do this because people from that neighborhood, they ain't paying their bills. They taking out bank accounts and they're taking out loans and they ain't paying this money back. So we gotta track you down, man.
Was it like an international bank?
Yeah, it's one of the biggest banks in Canada.
Wow.
Yeah, one of the biggest banks in Canada.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's blatant discrimination.
Yeah,
That's what I said, man. You never know what goes on in other countries, man.
Yeah, it
'Cause,
was-
you know, unless you get out and experience it. Yeah. So I mean, I see that you got your degree in business.
Yes,
business
sir.
management.
Yeah, business management. And yes, I got and that was in 2005. I went to, you guys call it degree down here. We call it diploma in Canada. Yeah?
Oh,
So it's basically the same thing.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I got my diploma in business management in 2005. Yeah.
Oh, that's lit.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I always like to focus on entrepreneurship. Even though my skills are in music, I always like the world of business. 'Cause at the end of the day, no matter how good you are at a skill, if you don't know the business side of that skill,
Yes,
you ain't
absolutely
really going far with that.
Right. So I see you used to be a disc jockey, as they say, disc jockey is DJ. But
Yeah.
how long have you been DJing?
That was the first thing I ever did, man. I've been DJing that since Columbus put his first boat on the ocean. Man. That's how long it's been. Man.
1490.
No, that's a long time, man. Long. Cause we used to buy records, virgin. Record was the thing.
Yeah, I see you work with Marley's son. And
Yeah,
how was that?
Yeah, oh, beautiful experience, man. Beautiful. Because too, with reggae music is that when you play reggae music, you meet a lot of reggae artists.
Right.
And I'm named my Ninja Riders came from a reggae artist named Ninja Man. That's why I named it after him.
Okay.
Yeah, because if you Google him, he's one of Jamaica's most popular dancehall artists ever. And I named it after him. That's why I got the name Ninja Riders. I named it after him.
That's
yeah,
ill right
that's
there,
where the name
right?
came from
Right.
originally. Yeah. I met him in 2008, but I never met him again after that because he got banned from coming to Canada. That's a whole other discussion by itself.
Hey, tell me, I mean, not to get off whatever happened to Shaba, man?
Shaba Ranks is in New York City.
He's in New York?
Yeah, even in New York City.
Okay.
Man. He never really, his name became so big that he couldn't even stay in Jamaica after a while.
Why is that? I mean,
Oh man, but you can't stay in Jamaica making them kind of money, man.
Yeah, that's a low income.
You can't stay in Jamaica making them kind of money, virgin. You have to leave, man.
Wow.
You become
You become a target.
Yeah.
So you gotta he made a very, very powerful decision at that time of his life, and it helped him and actually helped Jamaica in the long run because it gave a lot of other artists like Shaggy to actually get
Right,
the,
yeah, I was
to
gonna
get
ask
the, and
about
Sean
that.
Paul to get that international acclaim because that was the first time in reggae music from a dancehall perspective was getting that type of push. Last time I got that kind of push was when Yellow Man, if you guys know who he is,
Yellow
Man.
yes.
Yellow Man. Yeah, Yellow Man was the first man to get that kind of acclaim. You know, shout out to the King. That's my brother. He's listening right now too. Yeah.
That's crazy
Yeah,
because some folks would think Shaggy was like the first one to really like burst like the pop scene in America.
The first person to burst in the pop scene in America was Yellow Man.
Yellow Man.
Then followed by Lieutenant Stitchie. Then it followed by I'll give it by an order. After Lieutenant Stitchie was Shabba, and after Shabba was Capleton, and after Capleton was Super Cat, and then like about 95, 96 was Shaggy. Yeah.
What
Yeah.
about Beanie Man?
Beanie Man came back in 2001 when he really got the international fame in
Right,
America.
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're
and
correct. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, just talking a little bit about your career because, for people that maybe haven't been following you, you've worked with a lot of people in your career starting out with the DJ, and then also at one point you joined forces with VP Records, correct? Yeah. And so you've worked with featured Grammy Award-winning Shaba Ranks, who we were just talking about, Steel Pulse, and Kamani Marley, son of Bob Marley. Like, that's dope. Like, what was it like working with all these people?
It was like a fluke that happened actually, yeah. Because what happened was VP Records phoned one of my mixtapes I did for Ninja Rider's song. Kind of a mixtape series I did with a bunch of it's called Cultural Mystic, Strictly for Lovers, Dancehall, Jump Up, a whole series of them. And an A&R from VP Records found it on the internet.
Oh, wow.
And they emailed me. And I thought that they were like, uh-oh. I was like, they found a copyright infringement when they found me first. So I didn't reply back to that email. That's what I said.
Like,
man. I ain't replying back to that. But they kept replying, kept sending me, hey, Mr. So I replied one, and the guy was like, hey, man, I have this mixtape that I would love for you to host.
Man, people got to let them know what your intentions are first, man. You can't be
doing
that, man.
You got to know what's going on up front, man.
Hearing people like that.
So it's like, when they told me that, they're like, we're impressed by your work, and they're like, I want you to do this mixtape for us. I said, okay, cool. But what caught their attention was I actually did work with Bob Marley's granddaughter as well.
Oh.
Before I even did this. Because we did a Caravana float in Toronto, the Rastafarian Caravana float in 2011. So Denisha Pendergrass is her name, man. She's actually a social activist as well. And so I did work with her first. So when they saw that in my bio on my website, they're like, oh, you're familiar with this music stuff and that. So they tied it all in. And it was just like, that mixtape got over 300,000 hits through VP Records SoundCloud.
Wow.
And, it got me to go to New York and in their head office, meeting a bunch of people. Now, shout out to my homie Dane Bogle, because he was the man that emailed me first and told me about that. He's one of the radio A&Rs down there. Yeah, he's the one that linked it all together and said, bro, you should do this. And the rest is history. Man. Yeah.
That's what's up. And I see you been in a couple magazines, periodicals.
Yes, sir.
Such as Double XL.
Yeah.
You've been in the Caribbean magazine.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about how did they even find you?
You know what? The thing is, everything sometimes happens with God's timing, because I guess like they discovered my work, man, online, and they're like, hey, man, again, these people need to tell you what's going on up front. 'Cause I thought it was a scam. Come on, Double XL. Come on,
need to, exactly. I don't get that job, man.
Yeah, let me look at this email again.
Right.
Yeah, okay, but then it was real, and they said to me, we love to ask you some questions about what you're doing with your book and your film. And I said, okay, cool. And I answered it back, and months went by, and one day my friend messaged me, yo, Bridget, you're in Double XL. And he took a picture, and he showed me he's in the store. Yo, and he had like a stack of them in his hand. He's like, I'm buying them all. I'm giving out to people here. So I was flattered when I saw that. It was nice. Man.
Hey, so let's get a little bit into your book.
Yeah.
Let's talk about your book.
That book was created to be like a guideline to help kids from low-income neighborhoods rise up. It's targeted for the youth, because I basically looked at how the experience I had growing up and how the period from my neighborhood experience as well.
Right.
With the young youth between ages of like 18 to 35 years old. Because basically, for us to get to 18 years old, coming from where I was coming from, it was a challenge within itself to do that. So when I wrote the book, now I broke down 7 issues that I felt were plaguing people from low-income housing. And, I started with family, employment, faith, health, finance, relationships, and dealing with the law. So when I broke it all down, I was like, okay, then, how am I going to put this together in a book? And then I started asking the kids in the neighborhood, I was like, yo, what do you guys think was happening around here? What's going on here? We're chopping it up, and I was making notes. And before you know it, man, I had like over 200 pages, of handwritten stuff. How I wrote by hand first. Then I transferred it into the computer, and I put it together, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to put this out as a book.
So how long, when did you write the book?
I originally wrote the book, in 2010, when I originally wrote the book. And I released it exclusively in Canada first. And I had it in Canada, and I was touring the book all around Canada with the book for years. And then about 2016, actually, is when I decided to say, I'm going to re-release the book and put it out in a different way and bring it into America. And I never, when I came to America, I didn't even bring the book with me. I actually just came down here with a sample of it, saying that I'm gonna get to make people see what I'm about, go around, give up my flyers, give up my cards, make people feel what my vibe is like. And then fast forward now to now, the book has been exclusively been sold in America.
That's what's up. I mean, where could we find that book at?
It's basically, you gotta come to me. I'm on a major book tour right now. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm on a major book tour. If you go on my website, www.joelnrpowell.com, I have a list. One that says tour. I got almost 100 dates on there. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I just came back from Nashville.
You working.
I just came back from Nashville last night. Yeah.
So where you off to after this?
This week is Columbus, Georgia.
That's
yeah.
what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
And how long you gonna be down there?
I'll be down for 2 days.
Okay.
Yeah, 2
okay.
days.
Well, we appreciate you stopping by Nostalgia Vibe Radio. We
Yes.
really do appreciate
Yes,
that.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Exclusive.
definitely. Yeah, so we played earlier the song. I really like that one. It's called Away from Harm. But we're about ready to play Family Ties. We'll be back with you live in our studio in just a moment. But can you intro the song for us real quick?
Okay. Well, this song is Family Ties, based on chapter 1 in the book, Creating and Building Family Success. And it's Joel and our Powell. The song's Family Ties. Check it out live.
Family ties are broken cause we don't listen. Inside our homes the love is missing. We keep fighting just to get our way. End of the day, it's the games that we try to play. Family ties are broken cause we don't listen. Inside our homes the love is missing. We keep fighting just to get our way. End of the day, it's the games that we try to play. A family's torn, welcome to this real life. Miscommunicate all day, no real ties. Don't understand why we fighting but igniting violence. Inside the home they find somewhat exciting explanations. I find I give them way too often, but the notion of my soul is I'm gon' end up in the coffin. So anyhow, let me borrow your ear as I ventilate these words of my mind without fear. Reappear as I speak out, while everybody in my house got a big mouth. We let our neighbors know exactly what's the whole show, what's going on in our lives behind closed doors. I speak on it. Family ties are broken cause we don't listen. Inside our homes the love is missing. We keep fighting just to get our way. End of the day, it's the games that we try to play. Family ties are broken cause we don't listen. Inside our homes the love is missing. We keep fighting just to get our way. End of the day, it's the games that we try to play. I ask Lord, come on and cleanse these ways. Tyler Perry lifestyle as my family prays. Again Lord, come on and cleanse these ways. Tyler Perry lifestyle as my family prays. Intensity mixed with jealousy. I love my fam, but why do they hurt me? No need to beef, let's end all this rivalry. Let's stay close to home. Life's short, we are here for a while, and we gotta sit down, have a talk and smile. I'm popping words like a kernel, thoughts coming from my journal. My mom told me she would never sacrifice to put that smile on my face. I guess that's life. Family ties are broken cause we don't listen. Inside our homes the love is missing. We keep fighting just to get our way. End of the day, it's the games that we try to play. Family ties are broken cause we don't listen. Inside our homes the love is missing. We keep fighting just to get our way. End of the day, it's the games that we try to play.
You are listening to Nostalgic Vibes Radio, and you just heard Family Ties by Joel and R. Powell. Man, that was powerful. I love that.
Thank you very, very much. Appreciate it.
So what came up with that title? What made you come up with that title?
Man, Family Ties. Like that song was written partially off of experiences in my own life too. Because that's one of the lines inside I put in there. My mom told me she would never sacrifice to put a smile on my face. I guess that's life. My mom actually told me that. You know, in an argument, she said that to me once upon a time, man, and I never forgot it. So I put that in the song as well. Yeah.
And I think people do say stuff in the argument that they don't really mean.
Yeah.
You
But
gotta
I
be
know
careful.
she'll sacrifice her life for her son.
Yeah,
I definitely know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to go back a little bit, and like we said, you've done so many things. You're so accomplished, and you're on a huge book tour right now, which is really cool. The title of that book is Black Empowerment, right? Right, Black Power Empowerment and Minority Issues. But going back to your family and kind of your ties with the country where you're from and then where you went to Canada, are you going to write a book about that? Because your life is super interesting.
Actually, someone asked me that a couple of days ago. They're like, man, I was telling somebody another aspect of my life, and they were like, man, I said, bro, you can film a movie off of what you've done with your life, And I'm like, you know what? My next book, and I was telling people this is an announcement, that my next book is actually in the work right now. It's in the works right now, and it's actually close to what you're talking about. I can't really let it out the bag, yet, but it's getting there. It's getting there, and it's actually going to be another like book, film, and soundtrack. I'm gonna do again. Yeah, I'm gonna drop another book, film, and the music again.
Who thought of that concept though? Did you think of that concept?
Yeah,
because I think that's really I like it because it, especially when you say you did it for Americans, and I feel like like we need music to be able to relate to stuff. Like a lot of people who don't really read books, like that really will help them like to want to read it. And also the subject matter is also good too. A lot of people can relate to it too. But to be able to read it and then hop in your car and be able to listen to it on the way, like I like that.
Because to speak on that, because of like you said, not everybody reads. Because the demographic that I was particularly targeting is people between the age of 18 to 35, and I wanted the youth to actually get into the message. So I wrote songs for each chapter of the book. And I gave them exactly in music what the chapter was about, so they can delve into it deep. Then I have the film. I have a documentary, and the film is called Empowerment Through Awareness. And I interviewed visible minorities that are actually police officers, marriage counselors, financial planners, doctors, lawyers, business owners. I wanted to show a flip side of the coin that, there's more than, you don't have to pursue arts and entertainment to have a successful career as a person coming from low income neighborhoods. You can actually go into these fields. And I actually met with Robin Thicke's aunt. She's actually my documentary, my Dr. Joanne Thicke. And she gave me a powerful piece inside the documentary about, because she actually broke down the experience that she had, because she grew up in a harsh neighborhood as well. So she broke down her claim to become a doctor, how much struggle she had to go through from where she was from. And I had a financial planner, a young dude, a young guy. He was only 30 at the time I interviewed him, and he was breaking down the struggles he went through to become a financial planner because he was so young. People didn't really think he knew anything about financial planning. Right. When at the time he was handling investment portfolios for millionaires. So he broke down steps of how to get your credit in order, how to start up your first bank account, how to invest in real estate. He broke down a plethora of things. So with that being said, with 3 different packages I wanted people to catch the message from 3 different mediums because not everybody's interested in either. So whichever medium catches your eye, the message is there. The same message is there regardless.
I love that whole having every chapter having its own song. Like that is so dope.
He did it almost like R. Kelly did it trapped in the closet.
I've got a question about the difference between the U.S. and Canada. Like when it comes to low income issues and that lifestyle, what are some of the biggest differences between the U.S. and Canada?
Well, with Canada is okay. Here's one of the big differences up front. Why I'm in America right now is because in Canada there's not a lot of opportunities for entrepreneurship at all. If you're from low income housing, it's very hard to launch a career, even if you're doing anything. It doesn't matter if arts and entertainment. It's entrepreneurship in general. It's very, very expensive. So if you want to open up a small business, no matter if you want to open up a restaurant, you want to open anything up, it's expensive in Canada. Very, very expensive. And the laws are very, very tight and regulated. So you don't really have a lot of ma and pa business owners. Like regular people don't really own a lot of businesses. They end up having to work for people. But you'll go everywhere, you'll see a McDonald's, you see all the conglomerates, but you don't really see like a Bob and Steve's pizzeria making a lot of money. No. Those people ain't lasting long. McDonald's will come and take that out in seconds. Wow. So it's like that's one of the major differences. Canada is up there, like it's elite. You gotta have money to maintain that. So if you're not gonna be a really driven person from that world, you don't really survive. You know, so you have to think and be very creative, very, very creative. Because I've worked over 13 jobs, you know, and all the jobs I've worked, it was all about doing what I'm doing right now. I never worked for a company so I was going to stay there. I kind of had to kind of use them as like a catapult. So I'm going to do this for a little while, I'm going to do this. Do this for a little while, I'm going to do that. And I just kept climbing the ladder to make more money to say, okay, I'm going to take this, I'm going to do what I really want to do. And that's what a lot of people didn't understand, but I try to show people within my work that that's what you need to do. Right. You got to work with the system to get where you need to be, because the system's always going to be there. They're not going to go anywhere. But if you don't learn to use it in your favor, then you ain't going to go nowhere. So it's a double-edged sword, but you got to figure it out. Yeah? You got to figure it out. You can't, nobody's born into wealth unless you're like Bill Gates. I don't know if you're on that level yet, but most people are not born with money like that. So we have to work for a dollar, and every dollar is another dollar, and we got to make it count. So like that's one of the major differences right there, and that's why I can't God bless America for that, because I see America. A lot of my role models in the entertainment industry, in the world of business, is in America. So shout out to Tech Nine. One of the guys who gave me one of the biggest inspirations. Yeah, I did a show with him in 2012, and he told me that I must do this. Keep writing those books, Mr. Powell, so your future seeds can carry on the tradition. That's what he told me. So he told me to keep doing what I'm doing, so my future seeds can carry on the tradition, And I never forgot that, because I expected him to say something like, keep giving out flyers, put up business. But he was like, no, bro, keep doing this so your future seeds can carry on that tradition. So
facts, man.
Yeah.
Those are facts, man. Because I like the whole aspect. Honestly, your music dope, but I really enjoy the aspect that you actually wrote a book based on, like, a book, like, reading. Because, it's crazy to say today, because I have a young lady that's a teacher. Like, she even has, a student in her class about to be in the second grade that can't read. They had a hard time reading. Yeah. And it's and it goes down to, the kid has low-income housing and stuff like that, low, tax bracket. So it does, I guess poverty kind of plays a part into, exactly what you're exposed to, or even sometimes your education level. Yeah. It's crazy, though. But I do give you thumbs up for that, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that sincerely.
One of the things that we didn't talk about, we are nearing the end of our time, unfortunately, because we could talk to you for at least another couple hours.
Man, he got a lot of interesting stuff going on.
But you're also a keynote speaker, right? You did some stuff at University of Toronto.
Yeah,
is that correct?
Yeah.
Really quickly tell us what that was about.
Basically, it was I got invited to be a keynote speaker there based on my work with my book. And my school I graduated from in Toronto is called Humber College, yeah? So I was actually featured as one of their top graduates in 2011. So they sent it out to a bunch of schools around the whole of Canada, and someone in the University of Toronto caught wind of it and then invited me in to be a keynote speaker for one of their for their Black History Month events. Yeah.
Wow, that's what's up.
I went there.
I congratulate you on that one.
Thank you very much, man.
That's ill.
So tell people how they can find you.
Man, get some search dogs, some flashlights.
They won't have to look hard, though. You out there, you busy.
Well, right now, you go on my website, www.joelnrpowell.com. Or you just search that on Google. That's for everything.
That's what's up.
For my Instagram, my YouTube, Snapchat, Twitter, one name. I made it so simple. You can't get confused.
Right.
If you find another guy with that name, let me know, and I tell him to shut down his page. Yeah?
That's right.
Exactly. That's power right there.
That's right, Powell.
Shut down your page. Well, thank you so much. I really hope that people read this book and watch the documentary, listen to your songs. Tonight we featured Away from Harm and Family Ties, dope music. And I think we kind of have to wrap things up, but I do want to know, what are you doing this weekend? What are you and what is everybody in here doing this weekend?
Y'all already know what it is. Them damn twins. Y'all find us at the Anchor
Down Loud.
Yes, Peak Mount Road. Man, like we said, every weekend, y'all be there before 12. We got y'all free. Not 12:01. 12.
That's right. What you got going on, Road?
Man, I'm gonna get back into the lab and just hunker down, lock the doors, ain't coming out until I got something brewing,
Hey, people, before we get out here, I want to shout out happy birthday to my nephew, Rogue. His birthday tomorrow.
Yes, happy birthday. Whoop, whoop.
Appreciate that, man.
Then y'all, I want y'all to go, please. We had an interesting brother in here. Please go look out for Joel N.R. Powell. His book, man, has some great music. Disc jockey, entrepreneur. Please check him out, please. We really this won't be the last time we see you. Yeah?
No, it won't be the last time. Man. I gotta come back because you guys are making me blush, man. I'm blushing.
Man. We need
no,
you,
man, because you guys asked some great questions, and I'm blessed. I'm blessed to be
appreciate
here.
it.
I feel honored to be here. Thank you very much. Yeah.
And y'all, please go download that CD. Tell them know where they can find your CD at.
7 issues EP soundtrack. You can go on Spotify, Rhapsody, CD Baby. You can go on and listen to it in its entirety. Go on my website. You can listen to it there as well. The 7 issues EP soundtrack. Yeah. My name of my book, Black Empowerment and Minority Issues. My book tour is happening right now throughout Atlanta, Georgia. Go on my website. You can see the tour dates.
Okay.
For everywhere I'm going to be. It's all listed right there. I got almost 100 dates on there. Just go on my website, click tour. Everything's there. And you can feel free to come on any one of those days. I autograph the book for you. You can chop it up. It's all love there.
That's what.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's
right.
awesome.
Lando, what you got for us tonight, man?
No, you said to get the book, we have to go to the book signing.
You can actually order it on my website as well.
Oh, okay.
Or you can go up to the book signing because
Oh.
I'm in town. So come on and meet me. Don't be shy.
You right in front of him right now.
Don't be shy. Come on and meet me, and we can chop it up, or you can order it, pay the shipping, all that extra fees and all that good stuff, but you have to pay for it one way. No, I'm showing love, man. I love for the people to come on and meet me, because that's why part of the reason I did this book tour. I wanted to meet more people, get to know them, and people. Like yesterday, I met this 85-year-old man in Nashville, Tennessee, that actually gave me such thorough breakdown of the world, how it was before I was even in this planet. And I was so honored to talk to him because he told me some things that I was like, I almost broke down in tears. And so it's always wonderful to meet new people. So don't feel no way. Come out. Hit me up on Facebook. Same name, JOEL space NRPOWELL. Hit me up. Let me know when you want to come on, and we can always connect. Yeah.
Nice.
All right, people. That was Joe in our Powell. It's your boy, them damn twins, Rich from the Styles of Vibes Radio. We got Lando. We're going to say 2 St. Lando. That's his new name.
And you got your boy, them damn twin Ricardo, man. We'll see y'all next week at the same time, same place, 8 to 10. We out.
Jeez, I know you ain't gonna let it go down like this, dog. I'm hearing these dudes on these rap